2 minutes till broadcast. One minute till broadcast. Seconds till broadcast.
What's up, guys? Welcome into it. Hey, we are ready to rock and roll for a Monday, man. There's plenty to talk about. We have the shenanigans from the weekend. We have Congress working on budgets and so much more. Plus, Ken Abramowitz will be on the program, bottom of the hour, author of the Multi-Front War. We'll chat about that and more. Make sure to like it out, share it out, leave the comment, break the algorithm. Let's do this thing. Hang tight.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Begin transmission.
Broadcasting from the heart of the nation, the next generation in conservative talk radio. This is the Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser.
Hey, darn right it is. What is up, my friends? Welcome into it. It is a Monday, setting that tone, doing the thing as we get ready for a whole new week. We are moving through January already. This week and next week, January's done. I find that a little hard to believe. Golly. Plenty to happen that did happen over the weekend. We'll break it all down for you. The shenanigans. It's really stupid, too. Just stupid conversation in general. So we will get to that and a heck of a lot more. First and foremost, welcome into the show. Hopefully you had a great weekend, broadcasting out of the heart of the nation as we do here in Wichita, Kansas. But we are all over the country with so many great radio affiliates doing our thing.
Do it live!
Like we do every single day here on the show. Ken Abramowitz will be on the program, bottom of the hour. Author of the book, The Multi-Front War. And he runs the website SaveTheWest.com. We will get the latest out of the nation of Iran, the ongoing protests and the attempt to get rid of the radical Ayatollah regime there, and where we stand here as the United States. Donald Trump saying that he is prepared but not willing to use the military as of quite yet with a regime change, and what would that look like with the public here in the United States. So we will get to that and a heck of a lot more. First and foremost, so I really want to, you know me, I like to focus on policy. I want to talk about budgets. I want to talk about the Doge cuts. Apparently, Chuck Schumer has something against the Doge cuts, which we all kind of knew that was expected. But still, I mean, come on. He even said he actually wants to go above and beyond that. So the $7 trillion that we're spending as a nation, $2 trillion above what we normally did since COVID, that apparently is even not enough for him. So he wants to bring some of that back. I really want to get to that in just a moment, but I guess we have to discuss the big elephant in the room, so to speak, or
what's trending today.
The Democrat in the church house, I guess if that's what you want to call it. But I'm sure you heard the news. It's been talked about quite a bit throughout the day today, but protesters invading a church in Minneapolis during their Abolish ICE protests. Apparently they feel now that they are entitled enough to just walk into wherever they want to, including the private building of a church during a church service, to go fill up the aisles and start chanting "Hands up, don't shoot" with the protest against whatever her name is, Renee Good, is that her name? I don't know, the person that ended up getting shot by running over an ICE agent up in Minneapolis. So they do their protest, and Don Lemon, being one of the pretend, I say this in air quotes, journalists that's there with the protesters, think that they now have the right to just go and invade anybody. I'm still questioning, and maybe you can explain this or help me out on this one. I'm still wondering why they walked into the church. I get they're doing a protest, but like, what was the purpose of going to that crowd, that audience? Just to interrupt because they have to get attention from somebody, like they're the attention seekers looking for justification or gratification from, they didn't get enough love from their parents or something. I don't understand why they walked into the church. There's got to be a motive to it other than we just want to disrupt something so we feel like we're disrupting and feel like we're being productive. And then when you get mad at us, then we can play the victim, because that's what it seems to me, unless there was a deeper motive of why they chose to walk into a church. But when interviewed, the pastor seemed kind of dumbfounded and like, what's going on here?
What do you think of this? I mean, this is unacceptable. It's shameful. It's shameful to interrupt a public gathering of Christians in worship. So,
but there were folks who will say,
I have to take care of my flock.
okay, but listen, we live there's a constitution and the First Amendment to freedom of speech and freedom to assemble and protest.
Okay, so this is Don Lemon interviewing the pastor. So this is a constitutional right, freedom to protest. So that means that you're just obnoxious to go in and interrupt a church service? Like, again, I don't understand the correlation here. And again, this is maybe just me thinking logically, which the other side has a very difficult time doing. Logically, if I'm going to protest somewhere, I'm going to do it in a way that's going to help win people over, number one, or bring in awareness. Or two, I'm going to go into a place that's actually relatable. This is completely unrelated. People are in there Sunday morning doing a church service, praising God, and then you have protesters walking in, and then they run up to the priest and ask him, like, hey, why aren't you supporting this? We have a freedom of speech to do this anywhere we want to because we're a bunch of entitled children.
We're here to worship. We're here to worship Jesus because that's the hope of these cities. That's the hope of the world is Jesus Christ.
I want to be very respectful. Please don't push me, though.
We're here to worship Jesus.
Yes.
That's why we're here.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why we're here.
Okay.
That's what we're about.
Don't you think Jesus would be understanding?
We're about.
I can't do it anymore. So then, of course, well, wouldn't Jesus be understanding of this if we just interrupt what you're doing because we're children that want attention? Like, this is weird, man. I don't understand it. It blows my mind that this is what's acceptable in society nowadays. Where the hell's law enforcement in Minneapolis to arrest these people? Because a church is private property. I mean, it's not being paid for by taxpayer money. I think you get subsidized, or you get at least tax breaks as a church, but it's paid for. So you're on private property, essentially, quasi-private property. But to just interrupt, you're just children. You're just obnoxious children wanting to get attention by feeling that you're entitled to do whatever you want to do. Here's the crazy part. Outside of that, Don Lemon did an interview this morning to kick off the week and doubled down on it and now says that if you're a church that doesn't stop what you're doing and accept them, kind of like, this reminds me of the Caitlyn Jenner thing back in the day. And that's really what it comes down to, right? Caitlyn Jenner, when they did the transition, and people, Caitlyn Jenner's courageous. Caitlyn Jenner's the most beautiful woman on the face of the earth. How dare you even criticize whatsoever? If you say anything bad about them, then you're like the worst person on the face of the earth.
We're all
like,
gonna die because of you!
you remember that conversation? Now it's gotten to the point to where they've tried to normalize that. But that was the big radical controversial thing back in the day, was Caitlyn Jenner. And if you said anything about it, anything bad about it, then you were truly the worst person on the face of the earth, because you had to not only just ignore it and roll your eyes and move on about your day because you don't care about it whatsoever. You had to stop what you're doing and make a direct response statement that Caitlyn Jenner was the most beautiful woman on the face of the earth and how courageous that she is and that you support everything that she's doing. And if you didn't do that, and just by ignoring it, then by default ignoring it, you were the worst person out there. Remember that? That's what they're doing now, because Don Lemon, during an interview now, says that if you don't stop your church service and support the Abolish ICE movement and praising people for fighting against ICE because of the death of Renee Good, then apparently that's like white supremacy or something.
There's a certain degree of entitlement. I think people who are, in the religious groups like that, it's not the type of Christianity that I practice, but I think that they're entitled, and that entitlement comes from a supremacy, a white supremacy.
What are we talking about? Entitlement because they were at church on Sunday? Look, maybe I'm missing something here. Maybe there's a whole piece of the story that I'm not seeing, or that what they were doing. I don't know how going to church on Sunday is entitlement. white supremacy and entitlement at that because you went to church on Sunday and didn't want to interrupted by protesters. That apparently is white supremacy.
And they think that this country was built for them, that it is a Christian country, when actually we left England because we wanted religious freedom. It's religious freedom, but only if you're a Christian and only if you're a white male, pretty much. And so, yeah, I absolutely 100%, but it's an intimidation tactic. And, I said, I don't understand how I've become the face of it when I was a journalist. I do understand that I'm the biggest name there. And I'm also, as I was on with my producers this morning, you and Kylie talk all the time. My producers were saying, I said, how did I become the face of this? And my producer said, Don, you're a gay black man in America.
All right, so I'm a victim. I'm a gay black man. Therefore, I need. This is where they take it. And this is how radicalism gets started in society, right? I mean, unless you openly acknowledge it and you don't ignore it, if you just ignore it, then you're part of the problem. That's what they often say many times before, is that if you ignore the problem, then you are part of the problem. You have to be the activist. You have to be the vocal activist. You have to be the one out there fighting in the streets. You have to be the one that's throwing things at ICE. You have to be blocking and impeding federal officers with your vehicle. And if you don't do that, then you're just sitting on the sidelines and you're being part of the problem. This is a weaponized, militarized cult that we're starting to see in society, and it's quite dangerous because that's how we saw the assassination attempt against Donald Trump. That's how we saw an actual assassination against Charlie Kirk. These people, you have to be on the front lines fighting while they're complaining that Donald Trump said go out and fight like hell at the January 6th rally, while he also said go peacefully assemble. That now they're advocating for you have to be part of the solution by fighting with Antifa, with Black Lives Matter, with whatever, with Watch ICE now, apparently this group, or whatever organization that you consider yourself to be part of. You have to be physically active there or else you're part of the problem. This is a cult, man. And I don't say that lightly because I enjoy policy conversations. I enjoy ideological conversations. I enjoy talking about conservatism or bills or pieces of legislation and ideas on how to further society. You can't reason with that type of rhetoric, and that's pretty dangerous, which is why we have to call it out and call the shenanigans the way it is, because then we have this.
What's trending today?
Let's get into some what's trending and some policy conversation, but this is the same side. While they say you have to fight, you have to get in the face of MAGA people. You have to punch them in the face. You have to run them out of restaurants, run them out of public events. If they support Donald Trump, you have to take the hat of the red MAGA hat wearers because they're a bunch of Nazi fascists, and you have to silence ICE. And if you don't, you're part of that problem. Chuck Schumer talking about some of the budgetary problems, which headline for you, I'm not sure if you're aware or not, if we don't pass all the appropriations by the end of next week, I guess it's technically, a week and a half, 2 weeks from now, next Friday, January 31st, if we do not pass all the appropriations processes, the government shuts down again. Democrats now setting the stage for their policy platform for the midterm elections of what they're trying to do this year, and saying essentially they just want to redo everything that we've redone this past year.
If you look at the budget actually we're working on right now, we restore most of the cuts and even go higher than previous years on many of the programs that DOJ slashed. When I met our nominee for HUD secretary, then he was nominee, he talked a nice game, but he doesn't seem to have the clout to make those views prevail over the DOJ people, over the cut people. But we have worked really hard in the budget and gotten bipartisan support to increase these amounts and undo a lot of the cuts, which are essential.
So I'm trying to craft here an idea of what the state of the Democrat Party is, the state of the Republican Party is going into this year and beyond. The umbrella of the Republican Party, and trust me, we have plenty of flaws, plenty of issues. We're still trying to work on those. And will we ever be perfect as a party or as a movement? No, of course not. It's a populist movement, which means we'll see how long it actually goes until it implodes and the personality ends up taking over the policy, which is what we're starting to see already, and that's really scary and unfortunate. But for the Democrats now, we have an abolish ICE movement. We have let's increase spending, according to Chuck Schumer, back to previous DOJ cuts, and even above and beyond that, meaning we want to reinstitute all of the wasteful spending that we've been able to cut out of government. We haven't seen any effects of the government having less funding. Have we seen any money or any of the bureaucracies actually function less efficient because of all the spending cuts that we've done? I haven't seen them. Could be wrong. Haven't really seen any of those. And then we have the violent mob that says either agree with us or you're part of the problem by supporting a Gestapo and a Nazi fascist regime. If that's your platform, good luck winning that over to the majority of Americans. Right now, according to the polls that we've seen, even though CNN ran one at the end of last week that said 58% of Americans see Donald Trump focusing on the wrong priorities in this country, we've also seen now another poll that shows that those that supported Donald Trump, 93% of them still support what he's doing. And 70% say they strongly support what the Donald Trump administration is doing. So you can throw out all these polls that you want to. The fact of the matter is we're not going to change any minds based on personality. We're not going to change minds based on threats, based on anger, based on hate, based on emotion. You're going to win people over based on what are you going to do? What are the actions that you're going to implement if you are the party or the individual in charge? And all we know right now is that Republicans are still quaking in their boots to try and ram down the Trump agenda and codify what apparently 92% of the Republican Party that supported Donald Trump is actually supporting right now. And Democrats want to be in the street and violate your freedom of religious expression because they want to interrupt it, because to them, their movement is the most important thing on the face of the earth. And even just looking the other way and ignoring it, you're now part of the problem. You have to say Caitlyn Jenner's the most beautiful, courageous person on the face of the earth.
The voice of reason with Andy Hooser.
When America builds, the world follows. Our energy powered the 20th century. We've set the standard for generations, and we never waited for permission. But now, we're being held back. Outdated rules, endless delays. Without permitting reform, Washington's red tape is slowing us down while other nations race ahead. It doesn't have to be this way. We can clear the way for energy that's affordable, reliable, and built right here. Because what's built here is felt here. Lower costs, more jobs, stronger communities. That's what permitting reform makes possible. Energy didn't just shape our country, it powered the American dream. And with our innovation, we can lead the 21st century. Congress has a choice. Build America's energy future or risk falling behind. Tell Congress, pass permitting reform now.
Miss any part of the show? Well, don't worry. Now's your chance to go find the podcast and listen to as much of the Voice of Reason as you'd like. As the show continues to grow all across the nation with great radio affiliates, we also continue to grow as one of the top conservative podcasts, ranked 5th on the MillionPodcast.com Best 50 Conservative Leadership Podcasts in the nation, and number 1 on FeedSpot.com's 30 Best Conservative Talk Shows in the country. The show continues to grow each and every day. Just find us on any of your favorite podcasting sites at The Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser. Hey, did you know that you can have multiple different networks on one single smartphone? Well, with Patriot Mobile, you can. It's time for you to sign up for the Patriot Mobile primary phone plan with plans as low as $15 a month, where you can have 2 numbers and 2 networks on one single phone. And right now, if you sign up using the promo code REASON, you can get an entire month absolutely free. It's the Patriot Mobile One plan. 1 phone, 2 numbers, and 2 networks. And it's all at patriotmobile.com/reason. Again, patriotmobile.com, and use the promo code REASON.
What fuels the freedom to dream bigger? How did 2 guys in a cramped California garage reimagine the phone and put the power of the universe at our fingertips? At Americans for Prosperity, we believe greatness can happen anywhere. We just need freedom and the opportunity to make it real. But today, with a rigid system stifling progress, limiting creativity, and holding us back. That's why at AFP, we offer solutions that tackle the most critical challenges facing our country, so there's nothing standing in the way of America's next breakthrough. Because what we build today doesn't just shape the future, it defines it. How will you be defined? Take your first step today with Americans for Prosperity.
When you choose Patriot Mobile, you're not just picking a wireless provider. You're choosing a company that shares your values. It's easy to switch, and you can keep your number, your phone, and most importantly, your values. With Patriot Mobile, you get the power of nationwide coverage on all 3 major networks. That means wherever life takes you, we've got you covered on the same reliable networks you already know and trust. And when you need us, we're here for you right here at home. Our customer service is 100% US-based because we believe that support should come from people who understand you and your values. At Patriot Mobile, you're not just another call, you're a priority. In today's world, where you spend your money matters more than ever, every dollar is a vote for the kind of future you want to build. Join the thousands of Americans making a difference with every call, every text, and every connection. Choose a company that shares your values. Choose Patriot Mobile.
Switch today and get 1 month of service absolutely free by going to patriotmobile.com/reason.
When reason meets radio. This is the voice of reason with Andy Hooser.
We're here to arrest a child sex offender. And you guys are out here honking.
No, we're press.
We're the media.
We're not
That vehicle right there is honking and impeding our investigations while we're trying to arrest a child sex offender. That's who you guys are protecting. Insane.
Okay, so that was one of the ICE agents up there, by the way, in Minneapolis, trying to arrest a sex offender, a child sex offender, and everybody honking their horns, going crazy, absolutely nuts. I don't know about you, but according to Don Lemon, Jesus would want us to support the push for ICE, to stop our worship and to stop our church service, to try to abolish ICE while they get rid of sex offenders. Is that going to happen? Do you think that's okay? I don't know, man. My logical brain just goes nuts here. It's twisting up like pretzels because I just do not understand the basic logic. And there is none. I know that, and I have to remind myself of that. But golly, it's a crazy world out there. I want to tell you about my friends over at Lean. I have been taking Lean since the beginning of the year. January 1 is when I started my regimen. I feel absolutely fantastic. Starting to see the weight come down. I'm, 3, 4 pounds, 5 pounds maybe? I don't know. I haven't checked in a while. Since I started taking it. Because it works. It's like a GLP-1, but it's not the injections. It's a pill form, and it's a more stable way to lose weight and continue on with your New Year's resolutions. By the time the average person hits age 60, they've lost and regained hundreds of pounds. Doctors call it weight cycling, and half of Americans do it. It's when you lose pounds, and then you put it back on, plus a little bit more. It's extremely tough on your body and your organs and leaves you really frustrated. Bottom line, most people need help losing weight, and here's a great way to do it. Try non-prescription Lean that was created by doctors. It's an oral supplement, not an injection, and the science is really cool. It helps you maintain healthy blood sugar, helps control appetite and cravings, and it helps burn fat by converting the fat to energy. And burning fat helps you keep the weight off. Here's what you do. If you want to lose meaningful weight and healthy pace and keep it off, add Lean to your diet and your exercise. Get 20% off when you enter the code REASON at the website takelean.com. Again, go to takelean.com, put in promo code REASON, get that 20% off. Do it right now. All right, can we please talk about some policy, because this is driving me absolutely nuts, man. There is some news that we could be hearing.
What's trending today?
I haven't seen anything as of yet, but we could potentially hear some later on this evening, according to Newsmax.com, where a bipartisan health plan may be unveiled later on this evening, as Congress is working on ways to try and present a health plan building upon the quote-unquote great health care plan the Trump administration proposed last week, and therefore we could possibly, hopefully, fingers crossed, have something done let's say by the end of next week, right? Let's propose the bill. Let's have it done the same time the budget comes out. We codify the Trump agenda. We do a health care plan, and it would be pretty fantastic. If we're able to do that, I would be happy with that. We'll see if it happens or not. According to some of the conversations, however, there could be some roadblocks. Congress is negotiating, according to Newsmax, with the bipartisan health care package to be released as of this afternoon, reviving key elements of a deal that potentially collapsed in 2024. Part of that includes without the extension of the Enhanced Affordable Care Act subsidies, meaning the Obamacare subsidies that we got rid of that were during the COVID period, the enhanced ones that expired at the end of 2025. According to some, they say the agreement would tackle long-delayed priorities, including the reforms on pharmacy benefit managers, known as the PBMs, the intermediaries between the drug makers and the insurance companies, saying that the supporters are in agreement, saying that you've got to work something out and you got to use ingenuity. I'm not sure what I've ever said anything that was more impactful. According to the Trump administration, provisions under the discussion include a multi-layer renewal of community health center funding, an extension of Medicare telehealth payment flexibilities, and changes to Medicare Part D that would stop the PBM compensation from being tied to certain drug prices. At the same time, others have tried to reintroduce some more subsidies into Obamacare and put in some more funding for government-run health care. but has not gotten enough support in the Senate. So, what could that look like? I don't know. Details could potentially be released by this afternoon or tomorrow. Could we see the Republicans codify the Trump health care plan, get health care prices down? And if that happens, that could help us in the midterms for sure.
This is the Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser.
Hey, it's Andy Hooser with the Voice of Reason. Fighting for conservative principles seems more difficult all the time. The progressive left finds new and creative ways to limit freedom, abuse power, and trample the Constitution each and every day. That's why we need the knowledge, resources, and common sense to push back. And that's where we can help. Head to our website at HooserReason.com. There you can find our latest blog discussing topical issues of the day. Let us know your thoughts on current events with different surveys and chat rooms. And keep track of what I might be doing or where I may be speaking. Plus, when you head to the website, you can always get great deals and different offers from all of our great radio partners. Finally, if you want more of the show, you can find our podcasts with all of our great episodes and your favorite guests. And make sure to check out the latest Voice of Reason infomercials and maybe some other special content. And it's all because of you being part of the Hoosier-holic family. Let's continue to fight for conservative common sense principles together by going to HooserReason.com. Why? Because it's kind of the reasonable thing to do.
What fuels the freedom to dream bigger? How did two guys in a cramped California garage reimagine the phone and put the power of the universe at our fingertips? At Americans for Prosperity, we believe greatness can happen anywhere. We just need freedom and the opportunity to make it real. But today, with a rigid system stifling progress, limiting creativity, and holding us back. That's why at AFP, we offer solutions that tackle the most critical challenges facing our country, so there's nothing standing in the way of America's next breakthrough. Because what we build today doesn't just shape the future, it defines it. How will you be defined? Take your first step today with Americans for Prosperity.
When you choose Patriot Mobile, you're not just picking a wireless provider. You're choosing a company that shares your values. It's easy to switch, and you can keep your number, your phone, and most importantly, your values. With Patriot Mobile, you get the power of nationwide coverage on all 3 major networks. That means wherever life takes you, we've got you covered on the same reliable networks you already know and trust. And when you need us, we're here for you right here at home. Our customer service is 100% US-based because we believe that support should come from people who understand you and your values. At Patriot Mobile, you're not just another call, you're a priority. In today's world, where you spend your money matters more than ever, every dollar is a vote for the kind of future you want to build. Join the thousands of Americans making a difference with every call, every text, and every connection. Choose a company that shares your values. Choose Patriot Mobile.
Switch today and get 1 month of service absolutely free by going to patriotmobile.com/reason.
Truth, reason, and common sense. This is the Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser.
On the U.S. push to acquire Greenland, this just in, President Trump posting on Truth Social that he is serious about putting tariffs on countries that do not support the United States acquisition. Now, starting February 1st, he says there will be a 10% tariff on a number of European countries. That will rise to 25% in June and will continue to ratchet up until a deal is reached. So tariffs on those who do not support the U.S. acquisition of Greenland. Tariffs have worked to great effect in a number of these high-stakes situations. Mexico comes to mind during the first term. They put troops on their northern border after Trump threatened tariffs. We will see what these European countries do. We'll keep a close eye and keep you abreast of any developments.
All right, so that was Kayleigh McEnany on Fox News on Saturday after the announcement was made by Trump during the tweet on Saturday morning. We covered it on our syndicated program on Saturday afternoon as well, talked about it quite a bit. And I love how he just, man, he's going after it. He's also made the comment now that he's not just focused on world peace, but saying that he's done a lot of peace around the world and now starting to look at the America agenda, the America First agenda. That means potentially taking Greenland in some aspect. That means the arresting of Nicolas Maduro down in Venezuela. That also means potentially the conflict and the regime change that we could see in Iran. That's where I want to go to with this next with our next guest on the program.
What's trending today?
We're really happy to have on the program to talk about some of this and so much more. He is author of the book, The Multi-Front War, Defending America from Political Islam, China, Russia, Pandemics, and Radical Strife. He's also the founder of the website SaveTheWest.com. Really happy to have back on the show Mr. Ken Abramowitz. Ken, how are you, my friend?
Great to be with you. Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate you coming on here. Let's talk about Iran for just a moment. We continue to see the protest, the slaughtering that happened when the protest first rose up with the regime there saying that the people were quote-unquote domestic, or at least terrorists to some degree. I don't know about domestic terrorists, but saying that they were all terrorists, cutting down thousands of people. Are we going to see this actually prevail? Will we see a regime change, do you think, in Iran?
Well, we have to see regime change in Iran. Iran's an existential threat to America, existential threat to Israel, existential threat to Christians, existential threat to Hindus. And the point I'm getting to is Iran is run by what I call an Islamo-Nazi death cult. And they're willing. They'll kill everyone in Iran if they have to. And I think they've killed 30,000. Something that's the latest number I saw.
Wow.
The number could be 40, 50,000. There's 90 million people in Iran. 10 million are part of the regime, and 80 million hate the regime. They'll kill all 80 million if they have to. So I don't think America can sit back and watch genocide going on in front of our eyes. And I don't think President Trump wants to be responsible for one of the largest genocides in the history of the world.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. Where are, by the way, Ken, where are the Free Palestine people in the nation that have been protesting on college campuses and the streets of New York and everywhere else, saying that obviously there's a persecution against from Israel to the Palestinian people? Where are those protesters with women who are seen as subhuman in Iran right now?
Yeah, those protesters were phony protests paid for by the Muslim Brotherhood, which is Qatar and Turkey. And they were pretend protests. Maybe they had 10% professional protesters, and the rest were useful idiots. And they got everybody worked up and steamed up with their inherent anti-Semitism to criticize Israel. But now that Iran, that there is a genuine genocide going on, they're nowhere to be found because Qatar and Turkey are supporting Iran. So they're not going to send their college useful idiots and goons to criticize the Iranian government. They're helping the Iranian government, and that's why you're not seeing those phony protests again.
Yeah, it's very strange. Speaking of Palestine, by the way, I heard the news that the Palestinians have created an embassy in London. And right now we heard the news Saudi Arabia is cutting off funding for individuals that are going to London because that's where the radicalized hotspots are. How strange is it, Ken, that we now are concerned about the radicalizing of Islamists in the UK and in the United States, not in the Middle East, and even Middle Eastern countries are cutting off funding in those areas because they're saying these people are crazy and we don't want anything to do with them. This is a crazy backwards world right now, Ken.
That's for sure. The Islamism, or political Islam, or jihadism, is illegal in Egypt, Saudi Arabia, and the Emirates. In other words, Muslim countries. But it's legal in Christian countries. So you have to ask yourself a bizarre question. What do the Muslim countries know about Islamism and that the Christian countries don't know? And basically, the Christian countries are not doing their jobs, protecting their people. Or as I monitor countries, I gauge or grade them based, can they protect the life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness of all of their citizens? And the answer is the Christian countries, particularly in Europe, are not protecting the life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. And America has to pressure Europe to protect its people, because European countries, particularly England and France, are now huge civil rights violators because they're not protecting the 90% of the people who are Christian and the 1% who are Jewish.
Why is it, Ken? Why aren't we protecting and doing what we need to do to ban radicalism like that? Is it because we've gone down so far the road of we're afraid to offend everybody and we have to be inclusive and we have this woke movement? Look, I have nothing against individuals that are Muslim. I live in Wichita, Kansas. We have the Islamic Society of Wichita here. I've met with them before. They are wonderful individuals. I have no problem with people being Muslim, but it's like you said, the radicalized, politicized ones that want to change culture. Why would we accept that at all, as opposed to, if you're going to move to our area, you have to assimilate to us, period, end of story?
Yes, well, it provokes the question of allegiance to the Constitution and Bill of Rights. And if someone has allegiance to the Quran is antithetical to the Constitution and Bill of Rights. So we don't know how to handle it. Now, actually, it's pretty simple. Every company, restaurant, country club has rules, okay? I can't walk into a restaurant with a bathing suit and no shirt and no shoes, okay? So everyone has rules. So we have rules. It's called Constitution, Bill of Rights, so we have to apply them. So when someone says, I want to be a citizen of America, I believe in Sharia law, I hate the Constitution, I hate the Bill of Rights, I hate Christians, I hate Jews, a Judeo-Christian country should say, I don't really think you should be a citizen. In fact, I think you should leave our country and deport you. But we don't know how to deport people for nonviolent crimes. In other words, this person in question didn't kill anybody. He didn't commit a crime, but he doesn't believe in the Constitution, Bill of Rights. So it's a thought crime rather than a physical crime, and we don't know what to do about that. So we basically do nothing until the thought crime becomes a physical crime, and then we get upset.
It's crazy time. Yeah, exactly. It's too late, and it's a crazy time. We're talking with Ken Abramowitz, the author of the book, The Multi-Front War. You can find it on Amazon. Also, you can check out his website at SaveTheWest.com. You already kind of teased it. We see Egypt. We see the United Arab Emirates. We see Saudi Arabia, these nations that are banning the radicalization, and this push right now to topple the Ayatollah in Iran with their regime as well. Are you optimistic that we're seeing, for the most part, at least in many regions of the world, a de-radicalization of religious extremists?
I'm pretty optimistic. So, in other words, there's some dominoes that I would like to see fall. I would like to see more progress in Venezuela, getting rid of the bad guys in the government there. I want to see more progress in Ukraine, threatening the survival of Putin. I'd like to see a lot more progress in Iran, basically having America and Israel in some combination form help destroy the powers that are basically mowing down the people as we speak. Yeah. And I think if all those things happen, it'll be like a domino effect, and we'll be on the offense again relative to either communist bad guys or Islamist bad guys.
Yeah. Are you surprised right now in the lack of action from Israel? Because we always hear this rumor now, especially with this crazy, weird anti-Semitism movement that we're seeing in the United States, that the United States, that Donald Trump's nothing more than a puppet of Israel and Benjamin Netanyahu, which I would think if there's a regime change attempt going on in Iran, that Israel would want to be part of that to help topple this nation that has tried to harm them and blow them up every chance that they possibly get. Are you surprised that Israel really hasn't been militarily involved in what's going on in Iran right now?
Yes, I'm surprised, but I think there's something going on behind the scenes that that we're not seeing because it's secret. But I think Israel and America, by the way, have natural reason to work together. Sure. I can't think of an issue that America faces that Israel doesn't face, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So I don't distinguish the interests of America and Israel as being separate and distinct.
Sure.
Another way of saying that, Jews and Christians I call Siamese twins.
Yeah.
And when the Islamists want to kill one of the heads on the Siamese twins, it's a mortal danger, obviously, to the other part of the Siamese twin.
Sure.
So America and Israel have to work together, should work together, have a natural interest in working together. So it's not that America forces Israel to do something or Israel forces something on America. It's, again, we're Siamese twins. We work together. So I think behind the scenes, the two countries are preparing to create the right environment for regime change and either encouraging some of the military in Iran to defect or simply blowing up the tanks, blowing up the missiles, blowing up whatever mechanism they use to kill people so that they basically can't kill people anymore because they don't have those weapon systems.
Well, and we have a Donald Trump right now that wants to create peace around the world and stop people from dying, which has been his motto since he's gotten into office this round. It is the multi-front war defending America from political Islam, China, Russia, pandemics, and radical racial strife. You can find it on Amazon, other places as well. Also, check out the website, SaveTheWest.com. Ken, we appreciate it, my friend. Got to get you back on here soon.
Pleasure to be with you anytime.
Absolutely. Great conversation. We'll do it again before you know it. Until then, we got one more segment left to wrap up things for a Monday here for The Voice of Reason. Stay here.
This is The Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser.
Big government is broken. Every year, politicians fail to pass a budget as the deficit continues to grow. Every month, unelected bureaucrats pile on rules no one voted for, strangling our economy. And every day, D.C.'s broken system gets in the way of the American dream. Washington isn't working, and the people pay the price. At Americans for Prosperity, we believe it's time to fix the system. Now, join the movement to make government work.
As you know, I'm always looking for a good snack, but it's hard to find good quality snacks without all the unhealthy additives. But now that problem is over. It's time to enjoy J&S Smoked Snacks. Real cuts of beef, real wood smoke, and real flavor that's crafted in small batches to keep every bag fresh. I promise you'll be addicted. And with numerous different flavors, you'll never get enough. This is not your average gas station jerky. It's J&S Smoked Snacks. Find them online at jssmokedsnacks.com and tell them I sent you.
When you choose Patriot Mobile, you're not just picking a wireless provider. You're choosing a company that shares your values. It's easy to switch, and you can keep your number, your phone, and most importantly, your values. With Patriot Mobile, you get the power of nationwide coverage on all 3 major networks. That means wherever life takes you, we've got you covered on the same reliable networks you already know and trust. And when you need us, we're here for you right here at home. Our customer service is 100% US-based because we believe that support should come from people who understand you and your values. At Patriot Mobile, you're not just another call, you're a priority. In today's world, where you spend your money matters more than ever, every dollar is a vote for the kind of future you want to build. Join the thousands of Americans making a difference with every call, every text, and every connection. Choose a company that shares your values. Choose Patriot Mobile.
Switch today and get 1 month of service absolutely free by going to patriotmobile.com/reason.
What fuels the freedom to dream bigger? Our country's greatest breakthroughs were born from bold ideas and the ability to take one small step forward. At Americans for Prosperity, freedom and opportunity find their defenders. Because our country's next giant leap is just around the corner. Are you ready to step up?
Hey, the live show may be almost over today, but it doesn't have to be for you. As always, enjoy The Voice of Reason with our daily podcast by finding The Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser on any of your favorite podcasting sites. Just find us, subscribe, have it automatically downloaded, and listen at your convenience whenever you want to bring some more reason into your day. And a lot of people are doing it. Also, you can always find the video of the show, along with articles, additional commentary, and maybe a few sarcastic remarks by following us on our social media. Stay up to date with everything going on with the show, including upcoming guests, breaking news stories, interesting articles, and maybe some memes. Help us in the ongoing battle with censorship and shadow banning from social media by following us on the social media at Hooser Reason on all of our social media sites. For all these social media links, podcast links, contact information, or just general information of the show, go to our website at HooserReason.com. There you can listen live every day, read our latest monthly blog, find our radio affiliate list, or even listen to our latest infomercials and special content. Plus, you can always reach out to the program by sending me a message on social media, emailing us at HooserMediaNetwork@gmail.com, or sending an email through our website at HooserReason.com. Whether it's content on the show, whether it's a guest that you've liked or disliked, or whether you want to disagree with me, and disagreement's always appreciated. While you're there, make sure to sign up for our monthly newsletter. Each month, you'll get the latest update on the show, updates from the Hooser Media Network, and our latest blog discussing topical issues of the day. Finally, if you want to help support the show, become a member of our Patreon site and help us fight for the cause of truth, reason, and common sense every day, and get more of the same by becoming the ultimate Hoosierholic. Get additional interviews that sometimes we don't always get to air on the radio. Hear our special segments or even our infomercials before anyone else, and have a chance to chat with other great Hoosierholics from all over. By becoming a Patreon subscriber, you're not only helping the fight for conservative values, you're helping us get more content and information out through the Hooser Media Network. Find out more information online at HooserReason.com. Lastly, follow and support all of our partners with the show. The Voice of Reason has been growing more and more every year, and it's because of so many great partners helping us get the message out to you. From show partners to local radio affiliates in your area to streaming sites, podcasting sites, and more, we have so many supporters and listeners now than ever before, and we want to thank you. It's time to bring back common sense, and we do it right here every day with the Voice of Reason.
America's safe space for common sense. This is the Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser.
Yeah, welcome back into the program. Got a few minutes up as we wrap things up for a Monday today. Great to have you as usual. Setting that tone for the entire week. We're going to carpe diem all over this place, especially with the ridiculous shenanigans that we hear about going on. I'm still trying to wrap my head. The entire program today trying to wrap my brain around what we're seeing up in Minnesota to just interrupt people's day-to-day lives because you have to get on board with us or else you are part of the problem. Get on board or else we'll all die, right?
We're all gonna die because of you!
Craziness, man. Hey, want to tell you about my friends over at Americans for Prosperity. The healthcare debate is raging up, and in fact, we could be seeing sometime this evening. I have not seen it yet. Maybe it's just coming out, but I have not seen it on any of the major headlines from the news cycles yet about a potential bipartisan healthcare plan that Congress could be discussing in both chambers right now. And regardless of what that looks like, we need to make sure that we have the right options for ourselves. We want personal options. And they want to try and, for some reason, keep the government option around as like a weird pet subsidized by the taxpayer money. I'm not sure why, but if that's what they're going to do, regardless, we want many other options out there as well. That is why our friends over at Americans for Prosperity is working on it. Go to personaloption.com. Personaloption.com. You can find out all the different options that we have, ways that we can put pressure on our elected officials, and how we can help carve the conversation when it comes to healthcare reform in this nation, with our friends over at Americans for Prosperity and the website at personaloption.com. All right, speaking of, by the way, the elections are coming up, which means, again, and I said it, a couple weeks ago, every statement that every politician makes from here on out is exactly what it is, which is a personal political statement for them to go on the campaign trail with. And that's why we have Chuck Schumer out there saying that not only are we going to increase the budget at the federal level with the budget due at the end of this month and 2 weeks from now, or the end of next week, really, Chuck Schumer says, no, we're going to re-implement all of the cuts that we've seen from Doge.
We're here to arrest
sorry, that's the wrong one. Let's try audio clip number 4.
Well, as we begin 2026, Senate Democrats have a message for the country. We hear you. We hear you loud and clear, and we're getting to work. Every day, every week, every month this year, Democrats will put costs front and center in our agenda. It will be our agenda now.
The costs, right? Yeah.
And on throughout 2026.
Mm-hmm.
This spring and over the next 3 months and through 2026, Democrats will show precisely how a Senate Democratic majority will lower costs for everyday expenses.
All right, so the term still affordability, which affordability is happening right now. We're seeing the real estate market come down after the buying of the bonds from Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. Not the best choice of government option to try and step in and save the day, but I guess it's a step in the right direction. We have the great health care plan from the Trump administration. We have record low gas prices. The economy's coming back. Job growth has been going up. We see consumer spending and optimism still on the increase right now. I would say that affordability is the priority for the Trump administration, and it seems to be working right now. But to them, their option, the option that they've always had, the option that they always go to is we want more government control, more government involvement in these issues. And the only way to bring them down is to, according to them, artificially bring them down by injecting money into the system through subsidized cash payer money, a.k.a. socialism. And then when the bubble bursts, they're like, we don't know what happened to why the bubble burst so badly. But they don't care because they just want to cut. They just want to cut all of the cuts that we've done and re-implement a lot more spending.
If you look at the budget actually we're working on right now, we restore most of the cuts and even go higher than previous years on many of the programs that DOJ slashed.
I don't know how that's a popular statement, but I guess not only are we going to re-implement more spending, we're going to do a lot more than that one. By the way, we do have an update. We saw as of Friday last week, the Senate has now passed overwhelmingly the energy funding bill. It was already passed by the House of Representatives, but as we move through the appropriations process, this was known as the minibus, a mini omnibus package with the appropriations bill that included funding for the Commerce, Justice, Science, and related agencies, with Interior, the environmental agencies, and other related agencies as well. One key note to take away from that bill was moving certain energy programs from what they call unobligated funding to from different Infrastructure Investment in Jobs Act programs to Department of Energy initiatives and other programs. So moving money around, consolidating things, saving billions of dollars, according to the House Republican Appropriations Committee, of removing money around, consolidating things, and focusing, by the way, on civil nuclear credit programs. If we're going to have energy with the Environmental Protection Agency, we're getting away from the wind farms. We're getting away from the solar panels. We're focusing $1.28 billion on a civil nuclear credit program, investing in nuclear around the nation under the Trump administration. I see that as a pretty big win. That's pretty awesome. Back at it again tomorrow. Until then, be your own voice of reason. Be that catalyst for change. We'll see you back on the radio soon. Bye. Hey, it's Andy Hooser. You know, when I get off the air every day, the battle for me against limited government, censorship, and even unfactual content is far from over. That's why now I'm so happy to say that the Hooser Media Network is giving you more opportunity to catch the voice of reason along with other great shows and podcasts. It's been a long time in the works, and now you can finally enjoy more great content, services, and topical shows. We're the safe space for alternative talk, information, and ideas that the mainstream media absolutely hates. From holistic and alternative medicine, discussions on religion and spirituality, pure entertainment shows, and of course yours truly with the voice of reason. Plus, we offer numerous media services, including helping you set up your own podcast. Become your own voice of reason and bring your expertise to any fun issue or topic. For information on all of our shows, links to podcasts, each show website or social media link, or to find out about everything we do to challenge the mainstream establishment, visit our website at HooserMedia.com. Again, that's HooserMedia.com, the future of media.
Want to hear more of KQAM? Don't forget to download our app today. Fill out weekly surveys, register to win great prizes, listen live, message our shows, and so much more. Plus, get reminders of special programming and events you don't want to miss. Just find SC Wichita in your app store and make KQAM your new favorite app. It's Wichita's Big Talker, right on your phone. Download the SC Wichita app today with Wichita's Big Talker, KQAM.
The best way to understand all sides of an issue is to know all sides of an issue.
Can't get that in the mainstream media, which is